called Bola A. Tinubu was admitted in Chicago State University in 1977. Now, with respect to whether or not Chicago State University issued a diploma to such a student in 1977, the registrar said no.
That's what he said?
Yes, that's exactly what he said. Because when Atiku's lawyers drew his attention that have you ever seen a copy of this certificate that Tinubu presented to INEC in Nigeria as a qualifying certificate to contest election, his answer was, I have only seen this certificate in the course of the proceedings in Nigeria. It is not on our records in Chicago State University. And we cannot certify that we issued this certificate. And that is true. Because if you look at the documents released to Atiku, particularly document 0026, it speaks volumes as to whether or not that said Bola A. Tinubu actually graduated from Chicago State University. And why do I say so? Because the document says the student failed English and is required to go back and sit for English 222. And there is no further record to show that that Bola A. Tinubu went back to sit for that particular course, which was a requirement, a condition precedent for admission into Chicago State University. Mind you, the Bola A. Tinubu, who in one instance is female, in another instance is male, what was presented as the qualifying certificate for admission into Chicago State University was a GCE certificate purportedly obtained from Government College in 1970. And Government College Lagos, which is supposed to be the issuer of that same certificate, was not in existence up until 1974. And if you look at the subjects that are contained on the GCE certificate, it was physics, chemistry, and biology. There was no mathematics, and there was no English. And the requirements for you to graduate from Chicago State University is that you must have a credit in English and in mathematics. So if you look at the deposition documents, particularly document 0017, document 0026, document 0027, document 0028, document 0029, and document 0032. They speak volume about the said Bola A. Tinubu, who was supposed to have been a student of Chicago State University, but who never qualified to be issued a certificate because he never graduated from the university. It is possible for a student to go to a school because education is a process. Now, you get admitted, you undertake lectures, you write exams, you do for higher education, you do something like maybe a long essay or a project or a thesis or a dissertation. Upon the completion of all of this, if you have passed every subject, then you're issued with a certificate evidencing the fact that you were a graduate of this university.
Do they issue certificates? Or because what I learned is that the certificate is always issued once. And no, whatever you ask for,
upon graduation,
but
you
when
are issued with a certificate. Now, in 1979, no certificate was issued
at
to
that
any
time.
Bola A. Tinubu.
No certificate.
That's what the registrar says. That's what they said. No certificate was issued. And
but
if you look at the type of certificate...
Sorry, please, let me ask this. The registrar admitted that Bola Tinubu attended the school. Attendance
is one thing. Graduating from the school and earning a certificate is another different thing altogether. Education through the university or through that is a process. It's not an event. You can be admitted to ABU Zaria today for a 4-year program course. You can do up to the 3rd year. You can do even up to the 4th year. Now, if you have carryovers, you are required to go back and remedy those carryovers. Now, in this case, it was not even carryover per se within the university. There were deficiencies in the entry qualification which were detected by the Chicago State University, which the student Bola A. Tinubu, whoever he was or she was directed to go back. If you look at that deposition document 0026, if you want, I can read exactly what document 0026 said. And I'll put it to say, you have not passed the English qualifying exam, and the credits that you have previously earned in composition will not be recorded on your transcript until you have passed the examination. You should enroll in English 222. A passing score on English qualifying examination has been required prior to admission into any major or professional program for students admitted into the university as of September 1975. That particular precondition, precedent, was not fulfilled by that candidate. So no certificate was issued. And that's exactly what the registrar said. So any correlation, any interpretation that is different from what is on the records of the proceedings in the Chicago court is not what is available on record that to be used as evidence in court. So that's a correct interpretation. That certificate wasn't issued. And if you look at, there are several other errors on the certificate, which I need not point out. These things have been in the public domain. But this particular one, it's important that this point is made, because it is not even the attendance of the university that article is before the presidential election petition, or was before the presidential election petition tribunal, or is appealing to the Supreme Court. Article is appealing to the Supreme Court on the basis of the provisions of Section 137, subsection 1J, and Section 134, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act. The earlier reference refers to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which says that no candidate shall be qualified to contest for election as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria if such a candidate has presented a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission. So it is not a question of attendance. Granted, Bola A. Tinubu attended Chicago State University. The question is the certificate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today, as it is, presented to INEC to contest for the 2023 general election, was it a valid certificate issued by the Chicago State University? The registrar has said no. We are not aware.
So where are the information that we are getting that the registrar gave it a pass that what Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to INEC is actually coming from their school?
Ijoma, the depositions in court in Chicago are available everywhere. These documents have been certified, they have been published, and so any other interpretation that is skewed to make a misrepresentation to the public, it's simply because the public itself is not paying attention and reading exactly what the documents are. I refer you to this day this morning. This day this morning's headline was bold, that Chicago State University registrar denies knowledge of the certificate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, presented to INEC. So there is no confusion at all. In law, we say res ipsa loquitur. The facts are on the face of the document, and the facts speak for themselves.
Okay, let's go back to that section 137 that
yes.
you said. They are qualifications for you to run as a president.
Yes.
And if you go to section subsection 1A, it says subject to the provisions of 28 of this constitution, he has voluntarily acquired the citizen of a country, which is one of the qualifications.
Yes.
And except in such cases as may be prescribed by the National Assembly, he has made a declaration of allegiance to such other countries. That's a different matter.
These are different issues.
This has to do with the issue of the certificate now.
The issue of the certificate, read section 137, subsection 1J. It's there.
Hold on.
You have a copy of the Constitution.
Yes, that's where... why I'm going to that is simple. If what section 1J has said, presented a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Exactly.
That is one reason that he may be disqualified.
Yes.
And that's what some persons are calling for, is disqualification.
Strict liability offense.
Okay, but that was not part of what you asked for at the tribunal. With the Supreme Court...
That's a fallacy.
With the Supreme Court now go ahead and and say, okay, let us add it to